like, no, yeah. Yeah. Like, just people be saying that too, and that's whenever it's kind of like, yeah. You're not alone in that, you're not alone in that. And pretty much, it's just like, it's just like that right there to me. It says like, that connection though, like when those thoughts come and everything, all that shit, it's just like that right there pretty much is your soul speaking to you, It's pretty much like, when you speak to yourself, when you talk to yourself, like that right there is your soul right there. Like that right there is your soul. So it's very important to listen to the soul, to live the life you want to live. Because if you don't listen to your soul, how are you going to live the life you want to live? That's why meditations in the mornings are just so valuable. So key. Like, meditations in the mornings are like, that's the start of, okay, because the day is already so valuable. Like, already a day is already super valuable. But then the start of the day, oh, that's super valuable too, because like, imagine somebody going in a race, right? They're about to go into a race, or they're about to like, play the start of the game or whatever. Like, you think about all the games out there, they all do a fucking ritual. It's all ritual. Like, just the fact that they gotta do all that, it's all ritual. It's all ritual, and it's just kind of like that start right there, it affects pretty much the rest of it. So, it's just like the start is mandatory key, it's just key, it's just key. So, like, listening to yourself in the mornings every single day is like one of the, it's like hugging yourself pretty much. It's like giving yourself a pat in the back pretty much. It's like, like, yeah, it's so useful for your own benefit. And I feel like, that right there, energy always travels everywhere. I mean, like I said, alone equals all one. And that means we're all connected. Every single human being breathing right now, or man, shit, even dead right now, even just like, dead or whatever, alive or dead, we're all connected, we're all connected. And, it's just kind of like, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. And, it's kind of like, I could tell right here, you've been through some challenges and everything, and who hasn't really, to be quite honest. But, it's just like, nah, but, it's just like, it's just like, it's still not an excuse, it's still not an excuse. Like, matter of fact, I think one of those things is that 1%, should just be those little, like, it shouldn't be anything but, like, make that 99% the beauty in this world, the reason to keep going, the like, the vision pretty much, and that 1%, let that be, just the problem pretty much. There shouldn't be, try to have no problems, of course, as best as possible. But, people even say like 99 problems and all that stuff, all that shit, it's just kind of like, actually make just the one the problem and make the 99 like, oh, the benefits, you know what I mean? Like the good shit, like, the good thinking, the good thoughts, the good emotions, the good feelings, the good, like, just all around the goodness, And then, it shouldn't be the problems. It should just probably pretty much just be one problem, if anything. Because that one problem is pretty much the problem that leads to all the problems. And this is what we're trying to figure out. And I think that problem, I sense that it is distractions. I think that in the 2020s, one of the problems that a lot of humans are going to be facing is distractions. Because I see that, as technology has increased, while yes, technology does have a lot of benefits to a lot of things, of course, I'm grateful for it, I'm thankful for it, but, it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's also, leading to a lot of distractions. So, it's just kind of like, it's definitely one of those things where, like, and not even just technology, actually, like, just, even like wasting your time being around the wrong people, that also, also creates distraction. Like, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I could just imagine like this hasn't happened to me, thankfully. But I just picture it in my head just because I know this is a common, typical thing because I've observed it. I haven't experienced it, but I've observed it, which has taught me enough, just to observe it. It really, like I'm able to, have like a bit of empathy for it. But it's just like it's like what I see, a lot of the times, like in the past. It's just kind of like I see sometimes how like some people will be all like pretty much like pressuring someone to do this and that pretty much, and then like let's just say like someone's all like, yeah, let's go hang out like Friday night or Saturday night or something like that. And then like they'll usually say like, let's get really fucked up or something like that, right? And then usually it's kind of like sometimes I could tell by the person's face like that really wasn't what they wanted to do. I could just tell by the eyes and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like, damn, that right there, it wasn't the same frequency, it wasn't the same vibration, like, it just wasn't the same. Like they were in two different frequencies, so it comes out as force. It comes out as force. That's why it's so important to hang out with people that actually match your frequency. Because if you hang out with people that don't match your frequency, then it's kind of like it's force. And with force, there's no flow. And with life, you need flow in order to grow. So, it's just like, how do you expect to grow without no flow? It's like, if it's just force, then it's like, ooh, it pushes it. It pushes it. Because that's what force is. It pushes it. So it kind of pushes you to the limit, which could make you go a bit menace. And not menace in a good way. I like menace. I usually use the word menace, like, in a very positive way, because I love the word menace. I consider myself a menace. I just love like menace people, but in this sense, if the force goes too far, if the push goes too far, then it's pretty much like you could be fucked. You know what I mean? You possibly could, and that's when people go a little bit crazy, and then they do something that they regret. And then when they do something they regret, they're like, aw shit, here we go again. And then like CJ from GTA. So it's just kind of like, yeah, I mean, it's not worth it. So then we got, also with this, like, just by being stable, I think of four as like, stability, 4 legs on a chair, the 4 corners to a door, etc. 4 is all about stability. And, it's just like, it's really just about, keeping that ground, knowing who you are, knowing who you are will always just solve the problem pretty much. Like, pretty much by knowing your worth, by knowing your value, it's kind of like, how could you get distracted? If the problem is distraction, then it's kind of like, if you're grounded and you know yourself, then it's like the chances of you getting distracted are so minimal. And then the chances and distractions actually lose to losing stuff too. It loses time. It could lose people. It could lose, money. It could lose because time is money and money is time. And then, etc. And that's all ruled by Saturn. Saturn in mythology, and I believe it's Greek mythology. I could be wrong, but Saturn, he rules, time, money, and all that stuff. That's why time and money is connected. And so, it's just like, it's like that all just pretty much connects right there. That pretty much all connects. And, just by keeping that passion, that fire alive, lit up, then you're going to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Don't let the fire burn is a big thing I'm hearing. It's definitely a big thing I'm hearing. Like, just don't let the fire burn, man. Don't let the fire burn. Keep that burning, keep that lit, and, stay alive pretty much. Staying alive is pretty much what I'm hearing, that one song. Yeah, pretty much, yeah, stay alive pretty much. And don't stay surviving. No, stay living. There's a difference between surviving and living. When you're surviving, you're just living out of fear. You know, you're like, it's just all pretty much, you're staying in the root chakra, you're staying in the sacral chakra, you're staying in the solar. But if you're staying in the living side, you're in the higher frequencies, you know. You're in the higher frequencies, you know. And there's nothing wrong with the root, sacral, and solar chakra. You know, like, there's nothing wrong with that at all, you know. Like, last time I got my chakra, like, my little, like, aura reader done, like, one time, you know, I only did it one time, too. But it was just, like, I felt called in Mexico, pretty much. Like, I was just, like, and shout out to that lady, too, in Mexico. You know, but it was just kind of, like, you know, honestly, bro, like, I was part of the sacral, you know, I was orange aura. And so, you know, it's just kind of, like, yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, it's just, like, it's just not good to stay there for too long, is all I'm trying to say, you know. It's definitely, you know, it's definitely good to pretty much expand and keep growing and just keep getting better, pretty much, you know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I just honestly, yeah, that's all. That's really the only message. Yeah, like, that's pretty much it. Yeah, peace out.